Hello and welcome to your next episode in the Quickfire tutorial series. This will kind of be the 100 subscriber special, I guess. We're going to be going over top 10 ways to genocide aliens. Well, it's going to be much shorter than that. Unfortunately, there aren't that many ways. I'm sure you can think of some. And we're going to show off the math as well as the damage that you can do to an alien population. So, in this episode, I have spawned a lunar alien, and I also have spawned a battle fleet on Earth. This battle fleet has ships that will be pretty useful at being able to murder populations and civilian populations, in fact. So, the first thing we're going to try out is the good old missile way of destroying populations. So there's actually about 3 ways to cause genocide to alien populations, and the first way is going to be missiles. So I'm going to put on the math on screen right now for how energy weapons and missiles work in terms of damage to populations, but suffice it to say, for every warhead strength from the missile, it does 100,000 casualties, and it also has chances to destroy installations and various other things. So I'm going to go and grab my fleet. I'm going to go grab this ship. I'm going to quickly assign all the missiles to their missile launchers, and I'm going to open fire with this. So these are size 1 missiles that do 1 warhead strength. So we should expect about 2.4 million casualties in one salvo. So we're gonna fire. Okay, we just did 24. So the enemy population is currently on 1,817.6 million. So if we just, I did not, because my missiles, basically how the missiles are working is they're going so fast that the increments can't actually accurately show them. So yeah, 1.8 million here, or 1,800,000,000, and then we're going to impact the thing again, and there we go. We've caused 2.4 million more casualties. The side effect of missiles as well is they have the added bonus of giving you radiation and dust. So radiation is going to decrease your industry and your growth rate, while atmospheric dust is going to murder the planet's temperature. So as you can see here, the moon is getting much colder. And you can't get rid of radiation and dust artificially, and you just kind of have to wait, unfortunately. If you do, but they're aliens, so who cares at the end of the day? So that is the main benefit of missiles, and you can also load missiles up with enhanced radiation, and that will make it so they do more radiation damage to your enemies. And you can scale the missiles up, so you can have a missile that if it does 100 warhead strength, it can kill 100 million or 10 million people in one strike, kind of thing. So think of it like that. Now you may ask me, well, I want to keep the installations because this obviously is going to do a lot of damage to the infrastructure on the planet if there is any infrastructure, and you will be correct. I want to keep the installations and the infrastructure on the planet. Well, one way you can do that is by using energy weapons. So we're gonna hold fire on the enemy fleet, or on the fleet. So ceasefire all, ceasefire fleet, and I'm going to tell my fleet to move into orbit of Luna, and at that point they're going to begin bombing Luna accordingly. So we'll just okay, we're now above Luna, and how energy weapons work, and this was on the screen earlier, is for every point of energy weapon damage, they do 2,000 casualties. So if you do 12 damage, you do 24,000 casualties. So think of it like that. So we're going to open fire with particle beams. And I'm going to designate the population of Luna, and I'm going to open fire control, and boom, 14 strength 4. So that will do a considerable amount of damage. So if we look on our Luna Combine, so watch this number. I'm going to just Boom. Another strength 4 impact, and that killed more people. And another 14th impact, and that killed another about 100,000 people there. So we're killing about 100,000 people per blast, in terms of that for the weapons. But something to consider here is that while it's a lot slower, you're not using missiles. There is a chance though. All weapons in C+ now have, or C#. My apologies, I remember making that mistake. C#. In C#, the weapons have a 1% chance of failure rate every time they are fired. So this means that you can't sit in orbit and bomb with initial weapons forever. And yeah, so this is a very effective way at dealing with population as well. Next, we're going to have a look at environmental. So maybe you've cleaned up their defenses and want to deal with the massive alien population, and you don't want to conquer them or you don't want to subjugate them. So you decide, I'm going to deal with them a bit differently. And the best way to do that is pump some chlorine gas into the atmosphere, and this will cause this should cause, one second, chlorine. I think at this point they've lost so much that it needs to get recalculated again. I'm gonna actually, oh yeah, I need to hold fire real quick. So ceasefire fleet, and we're just gonna let Luna kind of have its time while the atmosphere is full of radiation and gases. And I'm going to add chlorine over here. So we already have chlorine in the atmosphere, and you can see the amount of damage that's being caused by radiation. But yeah, chlorine is the best killer, but since there is literally no atmosphere, which I forgot about, so if we just add an atmosphere really quick, because they're using infrastructure to survive, which actually is really smart because it gets rid of the chlorine chance. So right now they're only dying from the radiation impact, so it's not that effective for us. So if we put, if this was a normal world and we had a decent amount of breathable atmosphere, so we'll just add some nitrogen, make it nice, make it nice, make it a little bit nicer. 1.5, 1.17. So now they have a breathable atmosphere, and now they have dangerous atmosphere, which should, once we take away the infrastructure, this will cause mass casualty. Yep, 80% casualties. So chlorine can kill 80% of the population. Yeah, 75%ish. There are other gases you can use, such as, and to prove this is chlorine doing it, I will very quickly just get rid of all the chlorine from the atmosphere, and you can see here, a lot of it is to do with the annual growth rate due to no infrastructure, but otherwise is to use that chlorine. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unleash this on Earth. I know. So I'm just gonna pump some chlorine into the atmosphere. You don't need that much chlorine, only like 0.0 something. 0.05. Yep, that's a dangerous atmosphere. And this will should kill, yep, 75% of the population will die in a year. Now the added benefit of this as well is it's very cheap. You're not using maintenance, you're not using supplies, but it's very risky because you need to get terraforms in front of the planet, and you need to wait for that gas to get up, so it's very time consuming. So that is definitely something to think about. The next thing is going to be about aliens, and some aliens have different tolerances and different pressures. So you can remove the pressure of the atmosphere, so to suffocate them, you can remove the oxygen. You can remove different kinds of thing. You can add, if they really don't like carbon monoxide, you can put some carbon monoxide in there. If they don't like ammonia gas, you can put some ammonia, stuff like that. Now, one thing that chlorine has a benefit of, if we increase this to 0.5, it raises the temperature. So if you get enough chlorine in the atmosphere, you can actually raise the temperature. If we just add 1 chlorine here, you can raise temperature factor. So if they're on a very hot world, you can make it even more unbearable kind of thing. So that's something to consider. You can also evaporate the oceans. So if we wanted to, we could just be like zero hydrogen content. So we just evaporate the entire ocean of Earth, and that's just by selecting water vapor and then unchecking the tap marks. And so now Earth is got a chlorine oxygen atmosphere and has no water and has like no pressure either. And so they're gonna take a lot of casualties. Yeah. Next, we're gonna talk about forced labor camps. So forced labor camps are really cheap, and they require workers. But they obviously have downsides. I'm gonna post those downsides on screen right now. And that will be various other things. They generally produce less, not as efficiently, and also they have some further downsides. But you can get aliens to work them and stuff like that. So it can be very, very useful. So what you can do is you can implement a gas into an atmosphere that will kill their population about like 10% a year, but still have those forced labor camps, so you get the most mileage out of the aliens as much as possible. Anyway, those are the main ways to exterminate alien populations on other worlds, or your own population if you really want to. I hope you did enjoy. I've taken some feedback in from the comments, and I'm going to be trying to look at the video and trying to cut out any issues with waiting or stammering or things like that. And yeah, I hope you did enjoy. Support's been really good recently. We just passed 100 subscribers. Yeah, I hope everyone's doing okay. Hope you're staying safe. Please wash your hands, and I'll see you next time.